stuff that I bought in the last year and a half that I wanted to make a video about, but I couldn't make a video about. And so now I'm just gonna talk to you about it, just in case you were thinking about getting this, putting it in your list, in your basket, but you didn't. I'm gonna try and tell you all about them. All right, the first thing is, what you're hearing now is the DJI Lav mic. And the reason why I bought this is because it is negligible difference to the one that I think is the best, which is Rode's own lavalier mic, and it is half the price though. So I bought two of them, which is always good in case one of them fails, or if you have two people that you're interviewing. Now it's connected to a DJI Mic 1, which is then wirelessly transmitted to that 85mm lens that you're seeing there. So hopefully nice compression and I don't look too bad on it. So DJI Lav mic, it was around $40 or so. Really good quality. It's DJI entering another market that they can undercut others and still delivering nearly the best performance. So very welcome. Second thing that I didn't make a video about, because you'll have a million videos about them, is DJI Pocket 3, and this is the creator combo. So it comes with the camera, up to 4K 120. Of course, anything 24, 30, 60 is very good. And this is the creator combo, which comes with this pouch. It comes with a DJI Mic 2, which must tell you about. This is an excellent microphone. It works with other cameras as well, and iPhones or Android phones, Insta360's cameras, DJI's own Action 4, which I'll talk about next as well. Comes with a little tripod, an extension battery as well, which will give you an additional hour, which is really good. Yeah, I can't recommend it enough. If you do have the budget for it, this is a must-have for vlogging, for traveling, for using it as a B cam. And I've used it at a concert. I just put it behind a drummer and I left it there for the entirety of the show. And it never fails, it never overheats, it never complains about anything, and delivers very good 1-inch sensor quality footage with a dedicated night mode as well, which I have to say, as well as 10-bit 422 D-Log recording. So DJI Pocket 3 is very good. And as I mentioned, the Action 4, the DJI Action 4, just a huge step up compared to the Action 3 that I had previously. Better quality D-Log M footage, which is one of the welcome changes, as well as a few other additions, like, as I mentioned, Bluetooth mic compatibility, better stabilization, overall just faster. Still charges very rapidly, not as fast as the Pocket 3, the Action 3, but it's still a good system, and it just delivers much better quality footage at night. Hopefully I'll get my hands on an Action 5 Pro, which is now the latest and greatest. It's just been announced. So yeah, just keep an eye on that one as well. But if you do want to get an Action 4, if you can get a good bargain, or if somebody's selling it near you, excellent camera as well. What is up next? I made a whole video about the Insta360 X4, which repaired my relationship with the brand. So that's something to keep in mind as well. Again, same size sensor as the X3, but a much better chip behind it. Some AI helping here and there, better quality nighttime footage, which with these small cameras is my #1 gripe, is definitely the nighttime footage. They're were at least pretty unusable up to a point. So this is simply very good. Bigger screen, bigger battery as well, much better battery life, and it charges back in under an hour. I think it was just, exactly an hour or so, as well as it's designed now with a lens guard in mind. And an update compared to my full video that I made about it, which I'll link somewhere in one of the corners and in the description below. They did, in a software update recently, give us back webcam mode and live streaming. It's still not supported by Matterport, which would have been nice, because I do 360 virtual tours, but now I do them through another software. So yeah, if you are looking to get into the 360 market, this is a very good way to enter into it. Unlikely to get updated in the next 8 to 10 months, so you're not gonna have a sort of fear of missing out on the latest and greatest stuff. Let's see what's in the other bag. I definitely made a full video about this thing that I definitely want to highlight. Viltrox 75 1.2, also check out that video. But this thing is incredible, and the thing that I found myself using it for the most is not just portraits out in a park or whatever at sunset, because it does actually have glaring that is very, very strong. So you have to change directions quite often. But actually concert photography, the 113 millimeter full frame equivalent focal length is really, really good for once you are over the first 3 songs. If you do concert photography, you're probably aware of it. Most of the time, if you're an average concert photographer, you get 3 songs down there close to the artists, and then you get the rest of the show from wherever you can. And hopefully you hustle your way into a good position. But certainly that 1.2, which is around a 1.8 equivalent in full frame lengths, definitely is welcome. And it is humongous, but it does give you, at times it does give you swirly bokeh as well as a laboratory level clarity that you don't usually get with Fujifilm's own lenses. There are some really good ones, and there are some ones that I think, you know, they go more for the vibes and the look more than anything. I bought a Godox V1 for the Fujifilm ecosystem, as well as the accessory kit with it. I have a love and hate relationship with it. Sometimes it's really, really good, but I'm not that versed in flash photography. And the accessories, they're okay, but I am very disappointed in the dome that they include with it. So just keep that in mind. Some of these things, they take a lot of practice, and my hat's off to photographers that use flash professionally. Most certainly, I still have a lot of things to learn about, but there's a mini snoot in there. There's different color, well, not gels, but actual plastic inserts that you can do, and they're stackable and magnetic, which is a great thing. So if you're looking for an ecosystem to buy into, Godox's strobes and flash, which that flash also acts as a trigger for other Godox lights if you have them, is certainly a good way to buy into an ecosystem that you can continue investing in. On the drone front, I did make a separate video about this, but the Avata 2 has to get another shout out because it is incredible in terms of footage. It's very durable. I had a few run-ins with doors and fences and stuff like that, but I use it for real estate stuff. I film my intros with it because it allows me to just bravely fly almost into the house or the apartment that I'm filming. And the footage of it is even on par with the other DJI stuff. So unlike the Avata one, which had, you know, physical flaws, but also just an image that I didn't like and I never used it really, this one I can confidently use all the way until nighttime. At nighttime, there's no dedicated night mode, so different scenario really. What else is in there? Definitely want to talk about this because up until a certain point, Austria's superpower was making the world believe that Adolf Hitler was German. And then the Angelbird CF Express Type B card came along. And now I'm convinced that there is some Austrian magic in it. So very, very fast card. I've got the 512 gig one, which also comes with its own card reader. And the scenario with that one is, and I do have to mention this, is that they are able to actually firmware update through this reader. And it is a very fast card. You can empty the 512 gig card in less than 10 minutes. So I average around 700-800 megabits per second actually with this card reader. It comes with a fast 10 gigabit USB-C cable, so I regularly use it to update other stuff as well. But yeah, this combination is killer, and I can just go unlimited burst shots, especially at concerts or sports. Definitely I can keep going until the camera eventually says, hey, stop. So the card doesn't give up on you. It does sometimes get very warm, and if I have a snooze between like 2 songs, I take it out and I just like fan a little bit, because once it cools down, it goes back to full speed. So just keep that in mind. If you are considering the Angelbird CF Express A or B cards, I can only recommend them. Small team from Austria, very, very precise engineering, both physically as well as software-wise. They just have an upper advantage compared to some of the other players in the market. SanDisk, for instance, is one of the very popular ones. I also have one of their cards just as a backup, but it's worth keeping in mind. Really, I just wanted to run through these things that I bought and I don't really have a need to make full-length video about. And also, in my previous video, I mentioned the RS3 Mini DJI situation, and just an update on that in case you didn't see the video. I'll link it also in the description below. DJI was very kind and they swapped my RS3 Mini, which solved the motor issue. So now my camera can stay level, which is good when you're using a gimbal. Unfortunately, the software end is not is no different since. So that's just something to keep in mind. If you have a Fujifilm camera, you might have to consider another brand than DJI, and if you have a DJI stabilizer, then yeah, maybe pick up another brand if you want to do stabilized footage. It's still doable, it just means that it's a little less convenient, and also you put more strain on the gimbal motors because there's no connection between Fujifilm cameras and DJI gimbals. Some people still say that they can do it. I can't for the life of me, and I contacted both companies and we can't get them to work. So it's an acknowledged issue, it's a real issue, and unfortunately for people who invested in the Fujifilm ecosystem, it's just one of those things that we have to tolerate, is being a little bit incompatible with some of the third-party stuff. I will grab another thing and then I'll show it to you, which is also another thing that I didn't make a full-length video about, but it's definitely worth giving a shout out. Be right back. Okay, I said I'll grab one more thing, but actually I grabbed 3 or 4. So the first thing I wanted to mention is this monitor from Viltrox. And this is such a good complete package. It's the DC 550 Pro. I had to order it from Amazon from Germany. There's nobody in our region here in Central Eastern Europe seems to be selling it. And it's such a good overall monitor. It just delivers everything that you want, waveforms and false colors and whatever else. And if you use a Fujifilm, you know that autofocus can be on and off. I'm not gonna go into more detail about that. You're welcome, Fujifilm. But this is a good way to just monitor what's in focus and just leave everything else on the camera screen if it is visible at all. It comes with a battery as well, which most of the other monitors don't come with, and it's never run out on me, so it can definitely handle 3-4 hours of continuous monitoring. My only gripe with it is this hot shoe mount, which from all the reviews, I think people are using their own hot shoe mounts for that particular reason, because this cannot actually rotate in any other way. It can move up and down a little bit, but you cannot adjust this freely. So you're probably better off just buying one that is actually a dedicated monitor mount, so you can do a sort of a lower movement and still be able to monitor what you're seeing. But it does come with its own pop-on sun hood, which is really, really good, because that's also another external purchase. It has touch input, and it also has physical dials and quick menus, which is a good way. And then when you're finished, just pop it back as it is. And one thing I did buy for it particularly is I didn't want to get an Atomos Ninja, and so I still wanted to do screen recordings. And so I got this UGreen, I think. Yes, UGreen HDMI video capture card. It's just a simple USB-A or USB-C. You can pop this off, which is very clever. I hope you can see this, because the sun has now gone down. And actually you can see USB-C or USB-A, so it just allows you to use both options. And if you have an Android phone, great. If you have an iPad, great. If you have a Mac or a PC, great, because you can use capture cards or built-in software to capture whatever device you've connected through HDMI, which is really good. And if you can send, you know, a clean feed, great. If you want to actually record the menus also, that's also great. So yeah, DC 550 Pro. That's one of the things that I wanted to mention. The other thing that I got in my Insta360 video, I had a Telesin 3-meter selfie stick, and it broke 3 times, I think. And so the retailer was very nice, and they offered to swap it for an Insta360 extended edition, which is a 3-meter carbon fiber also, I think. But it works with friction instead of twist locking on and off. The only thing to worry about is this little cover piece that they include with it, which is nice. That tends to get lost from time to time. And this top part rotates freely, which it's not supposed to, and a lot of people are talking about it. But apart from this, it's solid, it's good. It's made by Sirui, very legendary stand and accessory makers. I can't really complain about it. I used it and I bought it originally to be able to mount a 360 camera to the back of my car and just have this sort of like video game type camera angle for cars. And for that, I decided to buy these Ulanzi SC02s. Really, really good. Suction cups, they can take, I think, 3 or 4 kilos at least. I got 2 of them. They told me that they got lost in the shipment, And so I ordered 2 other ones from a different retailer and I got them. And then 2 months later, they just suddenly turned up at my door. So they found them somewhere. And so now I have 4 of them. And I asked Ulanzi and they were very, very nice and just said, keep them. Very cool. They also have a NATO clamp extension here and several different angles for you to twist any sort of screw-on attachment into. As well as they have these handy red markers on here for you to know if you're losing suction, which is something you definitely want if you're mounting anything expensive anywhere out of sight. They come with this double ball joint clamp as well. So yeah, they're just a joy to use, and that's how I had it. I used 2 of them, one directly into the bottom of this and another one which clamped onto it, so just in case the first one failed, there was a second one that could catch it. As part of that Insta360 journey, when I wanted to film a motorbike, I got this selfie stick support clamp, which is 2 very strong clamps, and it did come in handy, and we did find a mounting point for it to secure a 360 camera with a very fast bike. So that was just for a little side project, that's just for a little videoing of my cousin, and that was very, very nice. And it definitely holds up. It is a little bit on the expensive side. I don't remember how much it was at least $50. So yeah, that was definitely worth it. And I do feel more secure if I mount my Insta360 and I can use this because it's very strong clamps, all metal construction. I also got these Ulanzi R94, 094 and 099 clamps, which I regularly use, including to even unscrew things that have been tightened way too much. I just clamp and I twist. Very good. You have one that's a simple ball joint, and then there's another one which I think is like a double ball joint. Check them out. They don't cost that much, and so far really, really good. And then the last thing that I wanted to talk about, which I didn't make a video about, but there are very good videos, you should check them out. If you are looking for a filter kit, the Freewell K2 landscape kit, that's the one I got because I wanted it for landscape photography. It's a magnetic mounted and stackable filter kit. So you have 2 VNDs, CPL, I've got a 10-stop ND filter, as well as soft and hard gradient filters as well. What I like about it is that it's all compatible with each other, and so really pretty much every use you have for photo or video, instead of getting a matte box and all that extra jazz, this is just a one-stop shop. And I got it through their Indiegogo campaign, so I was lucky because I saved at least 250 bucks compared to its retail price now. So stackable, reversible, really all you can dream of in terms of a filter kit. I think that's pretty much all the stuff that I bought and I didn't get to make a video about, or in the first half of the video I definitely mentioned a few that got dedicated videos. But if you have any questions regarding any of these, let me know. In case you are seeing me for the first time, I'm very glad you're here. I'd love it if you subscribed. I do this now for a living, photography and video, and definitely want to invite you to join me on this journey. It's definitely a bumpy one, starting a business from zero, but if you haven't seen my first video, I'll also link it in this corner, I think. I was in the marketing world, in consumer tech, and also some other fields, telecommunication, finance, med tech. And then during my last company, I got laid off, and I just said, you know what, I'm already just looking forward to the weekend each time. I might as well make every day a weekend. So yeah, that's what I love doing. I have photography, mostly landscape photography, sports, events, concerts. And to close off on a happy note, I've got something in the trunk, which the first half of this video was filmed with. It's a loaner from Sony, and it's an Alpha 1, and I've got a bunch of lenses with it because the next 3 days I'm going to 3 concerts. So I definitely wanted to try a flagship Sony at a concert, and definitely the Alpha 1 is just an insane camera. So maybe I'll make a video about it, hopefully, but if not, definitely maybe I'll include it in another video. If you have any questions, pop them down below. I'll get back to almost everyone because it's a small channel. And please, if you subscribe, I'm on my way to the first 1,000. We're a quarter of the way there pretty much, so hopefully maybe this will push us over. the first 30%, so 300 would be very nice. Thank you for your time and for your attention, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.